For 2 days, Cassie told her story. She described a relationship where she felt powerless, where fear was stronger than choice, where love came with conditions. She spoke about being forced into freak-off parties, about being controlled, isolated, and watched. But on day 4, his legal team flipped the story. They didn't raise their voices. They raised the evidence. Hundreds of texts, dozens of emails, words from Cassie herself, saying she missed the parties, that she wanted them, even planned them. So, what was this, really? Day 4 began with a shift in tone and power. This wasn't the prosecution stage anymore. It was the defense's turn. And their strategy was sharp. Not to deny Cassie's pain, but to reframe it as something she chose, not something she endured. Diddy's lawyers opened with a soft but pointed question. You said you loved him, and he loved you, right? Cassie: yes. Then came the evidence. But Cassie's own words. Texts where she called him Sean, a name no one else dared to use. Emails where she said she missed him, trusted him, wanted him. And then the freak-off messages. They projected Cassie's own words on the screen. I'm always ready to freak off lol, she wrote in 2009. Diddy responded, you tell me the day, you choose. Cassie replied, name the day. From there, the defense built a story. One where Cassie wasn't just present, she was engaged, suggesting, scheduling, initiating. In another message, she wrote, I love freak-offs when we both want it. That line became the centerpiece of the cross-examination. Diddy's attorney pressed her on it. So, you enjoyed them? Cassie paused, then said, that's not what I meant. And in that moment, the meaning split in two. The defense saw consent, enthusiasm, even. But Cassie, visibly composed, insisted that her words didn't reflect what she really felt. She explained that she often said what she thought Diddy wanted to hear, because saying no never felt like an option. As the cross-examination continued, the defense steered the narrative towards something even more personal: jealousy. They argued that Cassie wasn't just controlled, she was possessive, obsessed with being the only one in Diddy's world. She admitted it. Yes, I was jealous, she said. I wanted to be part of his family. I didn't understand why his kids couldn't be around me too. They brought up Gina Hoyne, another woman Cassie had seen in photos with Diddy. And when asked, Cassie didn't deny her rage. The defense claimed this wasn't trauma. It was romantic desperation, that Cassie couldn't handle not being the chosen one. But the story was never that simple. In messages shown to the jury, Cassie had written that she wished she could save her sexual wildness for her husband. She didn't want to be just an object for Diddy's fantasies. Cassie wanted a future, a family. But Diddy, he wanted entertainment. If there was one name that broke the illusion for Cassie, it was Gina. Gina Hoyne, another woman entangled in Diddy's world, had her own harrowing experiences. She publicly claimed that Diddy subjected her to physical and emotional abuse during their relationship. In a 2019 interview, Gina recounted how Diddy belittled her, comparing her unfavorably to Cassie, saying, Cassie is the good girl, you're the bad girl. These comparisons and alleged abuses painted a picture of a man exerting control and manipulation over the women in his life. For Cassie, discovering Diddy's involvement with Gina wasn't just about infidelity. It was a revelation of a pattern. She felt deceived and devalued, realizing that the control and manipulation she experienced might not have been unique. The defense acknowledged overlaps in Diddy's relationships, suggesting that he was involved with Gina during one of his breakups with Cassie. However, the prosecution highlighted that Gina's public allegations added weight to Cassie's claims, indicating a broader pattern of behavior. And then came Kid Cudi. In 2012, during one of Cassie and Diddy's breaks, Cassie started seeing the rapper, someone Diddy himself had introduced her to. That fact alone, that she got involved with someone from his circle, was enough to shake him. She recounted that he lunged at her with a wine opener, and later kicked her in the back. Cassie also described returning to her hotel room to find it vandalized, with urine on the floor and feces in the toilet. But what followed? That's where things get dark. Cassie testified that when Diddy found out, he told her, "I'm going to blow up that motherfucker's car." And sometime later, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. According to the New York Post, Cudi's team confirmed the incident. The car did explode. No one was inside, no one was hurt. But Cassie said she always believed Diddy was behind it. Beneath all the messages, the parties, the jealousy, was something even darker: addiction. Cassie admitted she struggled with drugs and alcohol throughout her relationship with Diddy because she couldn't survive the world Diddy built without being high. She told the court that she had to be intoxicated to endure the freak-off parties. Diddy's team used this against her. They said he never forced her to use. That, in fact, he tried to stop her. That he even called around, telling people not to sell her drugs. That when she got cocaine from one of her own girlfriends, he nearly threw the girl out a window and had to be stopped. The defense said Cassie wasn't a victim of addiction. They called her the cause, the chaos itself. But what they didn't ask was, what made her need to disconnect so badly in the first place? We all saw that hotel video. Cassie trying to walk away from a freak-off, only to be tackled and kicked on the floor. Does that look like someone who had the option to say no? The defense argued that Diddy was just agitated that night, that he had stopped using drugs, that it wasn't typical behavior. But let's be honest, even the professional escort admitted he feared for his life. He heard the violence through the wall. He didn't intervene. He couldn't even perform. And what about when Diddy hung Cassie's friend out a window because she gave Cassie drugs? If that's not violence, if that's not life-threatening aggression, then what is? Because this wasn't just about Cassie. The relationship itself was toxic. Breakups, makeups, cheating, apologies. Sometimes they broke up for days, sometimes for weeks, but they always came back. Even during those breaks, the connection never really ended. Cassie testified that in 2011, while she was dating Kid Cudi, she was still attending freak-off parties organized by Diddy. When asked why, she answered, "It was my job." That single sentence left the courtroom with more questions than answers. Was she being paid? Was it pressure? Or was she still trying to hold on to something, even when it was falling apart? Eventually, in 2018, things did break for real. Cassie saw a photo of Diddy with another woman. And this time, she didn't come back. She texted, "I just don't trust anymore." That last shot put the nail in the coffin. She moved on, married Alex Fine, and started a family. Cassie Ventura began writing a book, not for fame, but to process the trauma, to make sense of the pain, and maybe, just maybe, so Diddy would read it. She hoped he'd understand what he had done. She sent word through his team. No response, no acknowledgement, nothing. So she made an offer, $30 million for the rights to her story. A number she admitted was arbitrary, but big enough to get his attention. Still, silence. Then came the threats. Diddy's team allegedly warned her to back off. He complained that everyone was trying to take his money, so Cassie filed a lawsuit, accusing Diddy of rape, abuse, and sex trafficking. The case was settled in less than 24 hours, $20 million. No admission of guilt, just silence. But for the public, the questions were just beginning. Was she a victim of sex trafficking? Or was this just a toxic relationship between a narcissist and a woman who couldn't let go? Tell us what you believe, and don't forget to subscribe because this trial is far from over.